Yeah, well, there's a couple of things you said that I think are kind of funny.
Okay.
The first thing, well, the last thing he just said, something about that he's trying to hold them in accordance to the law, right? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, what kind of law are they writing?
Say that again. What kind of law are they? What?
Yeah, you said law. What kind of law are they writing?
What kind of law are they writing?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. You have to be a little bit more expansive on your
Okay,
question.
I'll just give you the answer. Okay, it's administrative. Okay, it's administrative law. Okay.
Okay.
And they're abiding by the administrative law.
Well,
It's like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. It's the centralized government, the United States government's corporation. Okay, it's all administrative, and they're living up to it perfectly. If you're a member of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, Coca-Cola or Pepsi is going to have an administrative hearing, and they're going to hold you, liable for either doing something, that is against the policy. They're creating policy, not creating law. But if you want to call it law, go ahead and call it law. Okay, and the other thing that I heard you saying a little bit before, all I kept hearing you saying was the government, government is bad, government this, the government is great. I think government is perfect. I think, without government, where would I be?
Karl, my darling, did you have a question?
Yeah, I asked him a question, a very simple question. What does he believe the government is?
Okay.
He keeps saying the government's bad. Okay, how's the government
bad? I just made the point that the people in the government ain't following the written procedures is about all I've ever said, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
you didn't say that.
The very simple thing is, okay, government is great because without government, I couldn't function because 99.999% of my life, I govern. Okay? Government is me. Now, you got to be a little more specific on what government you don't like. You mean you don't like the United States government? Because when people just keep saying the government is bad this, the government's bad that, well, almost 100% of your life, you're self-governing. You determine which way you're going to go. You're probably more worried about what cup of coffee you're going to have in the morning than what the federal government, the United States government, is doing today to you. So this is what I'm trying to say is when people say government, the government, I think you're trying to say like the United States government. And the big thing is they're just servants. They're public servants, and you're the public. And you've got to get them to understand that when they try to encroach upon your, upon your property, that they're committing a trespass. Okay, they're there to serve and protect. If they're doing anything other than serve and protect, you just have to make them aware. You understand your duties and obligations to serve and protect. Anything else that you're doing right now is a trespass.
I think he does that, Steve. Don't you do that?
I think I do it well, yeah.
Like I said, when you were going on saying about the like property taxes, like places like Camden, New Jersey, or Detroit, they don't have property taxes anymore. They also don't have services, public services either. They all have to. The community has to provide their own policing, their own firefighting. They have to provide their own protection. They have no more property taxes. So what would your solution be? The property taxes, if you don't want to pay property taxes, then not be like Camden, New Jersey, or Detroit.
I have no problem with the property taxes, okay? It's fine what they're supposed to do. They're just not doing it right. They're using it to do things. They're using it to collect money they're not supposed to collect on, okay? That's where it's at. But it's okay. I don't care if they tax the 7-Eleven. That is taxable property. I don't care about the strip malls or office buildings. That is taxable property. When they come to me telling me I owe them a tax on my home, that's impossible. And when
there's no businesses in the community to do this tax to? What if it's just the county or homeowners?
That's not true, man. When you start looking
I'm just saying. Look, sir, what I'm saying is if there's only 2-3 businesses in the community, is this 2 or 3 businesses within this community supposed to pay for all of the services for everybody else in the community? I live in very tiny towns.
There's a lot of communities that have volunteer fire departments and policing, and everybody gets together and takes care of the infrastructure. I wish it could be that way here. It's not, but that's a small community. You're talking about Detroit, which is bankrupt.
Because nobody's paying property taxes.
No, that's not why they're bankrupt. They're bankrupt because their congressional people, whoever was running the government there, stole all the money and didn't put it to what it needed to go.
So if they stole all the money this year, why didn't they have money for the next year?
Who cares?
Because there's no base. There's no tax to base anymore. The people are moving out. The homes are being abandoned.
That's it.
Right. There's not enough people to pay for the services anymore.
Well,
because the politicians stole all the money. I don't think they have.
Say they stole it. Say they stole it in 2010.
Well, yeah,
they stole them. Okay, what happened in 2011?
Now the whole location is like going down the tubes.
Because there's
nobody living there.
There's nobody. There are people there living there, but they can't afford the taxes that's going to take to provide the public services. This is what I'm trying to say. Somebody's going to have to pay these taxes. I mean, it's okay. It's almost like stealing. If your neighbor's paying property tax and everybody else is paying property taxes, and they dial 911 and they get EMT and they get the fire department to show up at their house, and you don't pay property tax, isn't that stealing?
Property taxes have nothing to do with any of that.
Okay, are you telling me property taxes has nothing to do with the police department, the fire department, has nothing to do with the public services, the snowplow removal, firefighting? It has nothing to do. Property taxes are used for those purposes?
Not in the sense you just made it out to be, no. It's not.
Okay, what do they use property taxes for, other than to steal and line their pockets? What else do they use property taxes for?
They use it to basically set the city up, the roads up, the trolley car things.
Schools.
Yeah, schools. There you go. Yeah, down the line.
Okay. So if everybody else pays their property taxes, but you, and you say you're not going to pay your property taxes because of whatever reason, you don't have kids who go to school anymore, whatever, you're not going to pay property taxes anymore. Well, then if you use any other form of public service, wouldn't that be considered a theft, that you are using something that you did not pay for?
Well, maybe if you're not paying the taxes, they won't come out and service your property. They won't pick up the trash.
I'm saying you're still going to have to drive. You're going to still have to drive on that road to town in the snow. You're still going to have to.
You can make a private contract with them. I've heard. You're still going to use those.
You're still going to use those stoplights. Okay. When there's a crash in the road, the EMT and the fire department are still going to come out and help you. So after they came out and helped you, did you write them a check and say, oh, well, here's $500 because I don't pay my property taxes, but thanks for showing up and doing a good job?
Vital is saying here property taxes are mostly dumped into CAFR accounts. See www.cafrs.com.
I'm just asking a simple question. Would that not be considered theft of services? Like if you drove in a taxi, you used a motel room and you didn't pay for it.
No, it's not the same thing, Carl. This is your
then
house.
How are you going to pay when the policeman comes to help you on the side of the road? A fire department comes out and puts your car out on fire.
That's not your property taxes paying for that.
But what, the fire department? Okay, what do your property taxes pay?
Schools and stuff like that.
There you go, schools.
And maybe the fire department. Maybe the fire
department.
If you're not paying property taxes, you can always arrange some kind of a contract with
them.
them.
You're on the side of the highway, your car's on fire. They do that down here. It's pretty funny. If you did not pay your property taxes, they're not putting your fire out.
You know what, Carl? Here in California, if you go hiking up in the mountains and you fall and the helicopter has to come and get you, you know what? Those people get a bill. There's no taxes paying for it. Yet there are somebody's paying these people when they go and help people that have legitimately fallen somewhere else didn't get themselves in. Well, okay, there's some finagling going on with the money. So
that's right.
It's not going to fly you saying, what if a cop pulls, gets you on the side of the road and helps you out. That's a different.
Whatever he pulls you out of the car. Who's going to pay him his salary? You're not paying it. You're not paying taxes. You're not paying a damn dime to anybody. You're keeping all the money yourself.
And when the cops get sued for killing people,
and they pay.
And it's, millions of dollars that is taxpayer money that's paying for these lawsuits that these
it's insurance companies. All the cops are insured. All the cops are indemnified. There's not one cop running around out there that's not insured.
Okay, so when the county agrees to pay $10 million to somebody's family because the cops accidentally killed their kid, you're telling me that their insurance is going to pay for that.
The insurance could have paid for it. Watch this. The insurance company could have paid for it, just like when you get into an accident with your car. Your insurance company could pay for it, but you know your premiums are going to go sky high out of the roof.
Not only that, I don't think that cop wouldn't have a job again if they went after it.
The county is paying it out of pocket, because when they do make a claim to their insurance company, just like you, their rates are going to go sky high. So it's cheaper for them to pull it out of the county coffers than it is to go through the insurance company. Just like you, if you get into a fender bender, is it better for you to just fix your $500 bumper, or is it better to make a claim? Because once you make a claim, your insurance next year is going to be $2,000 instead of $1,000. So you're like, you know what? I'll pay for the accident on my own. I'm not gonna go to my insurance company on this one.
Yeah, that's what people would do. Pay out.
Okay. Well, all I'm trying to say is, look, government, you have to specify it in better terms. You know, you're going to have to say some centralized government, public employees are doing this, and I don't know how to deal with them, so I jump up and down and cry. Okay, and I bitch and moan and groan. Because if there's anybody who's listening who knows, I heard another man asking him a court question, if the state of California was taking you to court, what's the court of original jurisdiction according to the Constitution?
Well, it's going to be the court of general jurisdiction where the issue arises. That's the way it's written in the state constitution.
Nope, absolutely not. When the state say the state of Virginia where I live attempts, or the Commonwealth of Virginia where I live, attempts to file a charge or claim against me, a complaint against me, where's the court of original jurisdiction? See, because this is what drives you people nuts. Because you people keep saying, oh, well, then I got to go to a state court with a state judge and a state clerk and a state prosecutor and a state bailiff. No, that's not the court of original jurisdiction. You just don't know the law. So you wind up going to these stupid state courts instead of going to the court of original jurisdiction in accordance with the Constitution. Because the state obviously can't take a man into a state court, obviously. But you guys allow it all the time because you don't know the law.
Okay. Well, appreciate that clarification of those issues there, Carl.
What's that?
I'd appreciate the clarification of those issues, man.
Oh, yeah, not a problem, man. I'm just trying to keep people from getting in trouble, from jumping up and down and get all excitable. Anytime anybody from a public servant, starts to give you any crap, just explain to him that he's the public servant and you're the man. Anytime the state tries to come after you, just say, hey, what's the court of original jurisdiction? You want to take me to court? More than glad to. Just remember to take me to the court of original jurisdiction. And have a nice day, and they'll disappear. It's so simple, this stuff that's scary.